Hello everybody, this is John Hemlock bringing to you today the test of confidence, which is the tank proving ground on Norishan. It's the place you'll go when you click on the glowy golden orb in order to reset your corruption stacks. So the purpose of this video is just to show you what it's like if you've not been in there, hopefully saving a few wipes. I've got 3 attempts put together here. This first one, all I want to talk about is the hurl corruption that he does. You can see him casting several different spells at me there. The hurl corruption is the one that is going to kill you. It is the one, it is your absolute top priority to interrupt it. You cannot take the damage from hurl corruption and make it out of here alive. At least you can't take 2 of them. I've included this one because I do a really terrible job of it here towards the end. And you can see kind of the consequences. But number 1 on your list is get your interrupt button ready. I've actually spec'd into disrupting shout, which gives me a second interrupt on this fight. And right there you can see I failed to interrupt it and what it does to my health bar. So that's with one. That's with one hurl corruption that hits. If he hits you with 2 of them, you're not getting out of there at all. So I was lucky in this case that I survived and was able to rejoin the raid out here in the main room. So we've talked about hurl corruption. We'll talk about some other things here. The other one that he does is Titanic Smash. And Titanic Smash is the other thing that could kill you. Fortunately, it's pretty easy to get out of. It's a cone effect in front of him with a pretty long cast time. You can either run through him or strafe around him. You saw some of it in the last video, although we didn't talk about it. So here we go. I do a better job at interrupting hurl corruption, so I'll stop talking about him there. But there's a Titanic Smash. You can see it's something less than 90 degrees in front of him. If you're nice and close to him, pretty easy to get out of. So all you're doing for the most part in this whole room, by the way, the whole purpose of it is you have to survive for a minute. That's it. That's the only criteria for success. So don't be worried about DPS. Don't be worried about trying to kill him. Just survive for a minute. And that means staying at a Titanic Smash and interrupting hurl corruption. So the other things in here we can talk a little bit about. There's almost no melee damage. Just looking through my log, and I haven't looked at the WOL log yet, but he's meleeing for like 8,000 or 9,000 per time. It's not worth using physical mitigation. For example, for a warrior, this is not a fight where you want to use shield block. It's all about absorbs and heals. Warriors probably have a tougher time than most classes due to lack of heals, lack of self heals. I have spec'd into enraged regeneration. I would recommend that for anyone just because then you have one at least heal that you can count on being up when you need it. But like that last fight there, you saw me, I got out of there with something like 600,000 health. So if you do everything right, it's not a problem. It's if you screw up once or twice, you could be in real trouble here. I mean, there is not a lot of room for error. When it comes to hurl corruption, there's almost no room for error. Some of the other things he does, I think he does some damage. I think it all can be mitigated, first of all, by an absorb or something of that sort. I also think piercing corruption, which a lot of people talk about, you need to use a cooldown. I didn't see that, but I think having an absorb up or a heal ready after piercing corruption is a good idea. The other one people talk about is the burst. I've seen people say it can be outranged. I've seen people talk about different things. As near as I can tell, it can't be dodged, ranged, anything at all, but it can be mitigated, again, by an absorb. And certainly it can be helped out a lot by a heal right afterwards. So that's what you're looking for here. Watch out for the 2 big ones. Mitigate the other stuff as best you can, and you'll get back into the fight and be able to help the raid team.